Welcome to For the Story, the podcast whose flavor profile is zesty umami with a little bit of sour. I'm Ash.
And my name's Avery, and I'm not sure if we've used that one before or not.
I'm not sure sour is a flavor profile.
Is it? Because I taste sour. I don't know about you. I mean, not like me personally. I mean, like, I can taste... Anyway,
Avery, stop.
Welcome to the podcast. We're here. We're talking movies and other things. Ash, how you been doing this week?
Pretty good, especially because this week we watched The Birdcage.
The Birdcage, indeed.
Have you ever seen The Birdcage?
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, The Birdcage is awesome, dude.
Starring Nicolas Cage.
No, no. It's a Robin Williams and God, who else is in that movie? The dude from Dennis Nedry.
Oh,
Wayne Knight.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah,
Sweet.
and then the guy from The Producers, Nathan Lane, Gene Hackman, and it's about like a cabaret owner and his drag queen like fiance guy, and Nathan Lane is just so flamboyant. It is amazing, and Robin Williams a drag queen.
Wow,
it's
like
great.
Perfect.
It's really funny. It's like this. It was based on this French movie, by the same name, but I forget what the actual name of that movie was.
Shit, hell yeah. Well, that's awesome. Dude. Is that something that you watched this week?
No.
Oh, you haven't watched it recently. Okay.
No. Well, I watched it once because I had a crush on a girl, and she's like, "It's my favorite movie." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'll watch it."
Yeah, shit. Let's watch it, babe.
Let's do it.
Let's watch it, babe. So
Beeb.
Awesome. Babe.
Yeah, I did watch. We both watched movies this week, though, Avery.
Yeah, I mean, in all technicality, we did. We've both been really fucking busy, man. I will be the first to admit it has been a busy week over here. Doing lots of editing, tried to get that podcast out as quickly as I could. But we watched something a little bit different than usual. Well, that's actually not true because we did a David Lynch movie last month too. But we watched Mulholland Drive.
We did. Yeah, I've already done the thing where it's a sequel to Drive, right? And Baby Driver.
Yeah. I think we've already discussed that. But hell yeah. So we gave it a shot. We did another David Lynch movie last month, and we were both pretty much like, "Hey, let's do this again."
It was fun.
Yeah.
Well, it was your choice.
Yeah. So
you chose this.
Yeah.
I don't know. You keep choosing movies that you have opinions about.
Yeah, it's definitely the truth. I have an opinion about Mulholland Drive, and I don't think it's going to be a popular one. But we'll save that for a little bit along the way here. First off, Ash, what have you watched this week that's unrelated to Mulholland Drive? Anything unique, noteworthy? Hit me.
Yeah. I was like looking for a movie, as I do. And well, I came across an old classic.
An old classic
about German fairy tales, starring Heath Ledger, Matt Damon, Lita Healy, and I watched The Brothers Grimm.
Oh, wow. I saw that movie in the theater. Did you know that?
So did I. I mean, we were kids when that came out.
Pretty young. It was pretty fucked up, too. I remember like it being somewhat frightening when I saw it when I was a kid. Like, I don't know how frightening it actually is.
You were a dumb fucking kid.
Was it really that? It's just bad in retrospect. Doesn't one guy like turn into a gingerbread man or like melt into chocolate or something at a certain point?
Yeah. It's a little girl who's kind of androgynous, and like there's mud that eats her face, and then she turns into the gingerbread man.
Very
it's
cool,
not great.
By the way.
It's super great effects. Yeah. No, I mean, like, I like the premise, and it's kind of weird because dude, everyone looks the fucking same in what was that, the early 2000s? Because Lena Headey, who's like in Game of Thrones or whatever, she was dressed up and looked exactly like Keira Knightley, but I'm like, wait, that's not Keira Knightley. But then I was like, wait, but is it? or is that Natalie Portman? Because she kind of looks like Keira Knightley. But then I was like, no, this is neither of those people. So I had to Google it. I'm like,
God.
oh, it's the girl from Game of Thrones. And then
oh my God, I wonder if
Heath
they were like
Ledger.
going for
I thought it was Jude Law.
Dude, you're fucking losing it. You've watched too many movies.
I'm not having a good time, bro.
Dude, yeah, I remember seeing that movie when I was a kid, and I saw it in the theater, like I said, and I remember like actually being unsettled. I don't know why. It was, maybe I was just at that age when it just seemed to. I must have been like 8 or 9. I don't know. What year did that come out? Like 2004, maybe. And I remember.
Let me look it up.
Yeah.
Brothers Grimm. We are the Brothers Grimm. 2005.
2005. So I was more like 11. Well, whatever. Maybe even 12. Shit, I was probably old. I was too old to be scared by that shit at that point. But
Dude, it was not. It was bad. Like
just
one
that
of the
bad,
big,
huh?
one of the big things is like Heath Ledger's like the sweet boy. He's just a nice boy,
Right.
And Matt Damon's Matt Damon. By that I mean a piece of absolute shit.
Really, that bad, huh?
Oh yeah, his character.
Oh,
Just a bad.
I
He's
see.
a bad boy,
Just a
and
bad
he gets
boy.
all the ladies. He's having 3-ways while his brother lays on the floor, and then there's like a thing with him and Lita Healy, with like weird love triangle, and you're like, oh, she's gonna end up with the sweet boy.
Of course.
But no, she doesn't though.
Oh God. Well,
And
how
it's directed
weird.
by Terry Gilliam.
I don't even
who
know
is-
that. I don't even.
Oh,
know.
he was the cartoonist and one of the writers in Monty Python.
Oh, really?
And he did like Time Bandits Brazil. I think he did 12 Monkeys, I want to
Really
say.
interesting. That's interesting stuff. And so this was directed by him. Those are pretty like big titles.
Yeah. He also, what else did he do? Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus.
So he took this on, and it just didn't turn out the way he thought it was going to, huh?
Yeah, it was not good. It was just not good. And he's like one of my absolute favorite just
Yeah.
like minds. He's got these very weird niche parts in all of the Monty Python stuff, but he was the one like American who was involved in Monty Python. He's from like Minnesota.
So basically Canadian is what you're saying
Yeah.
here. Okay, all right, hell yeah. So the Brothers Grimm, there you go. You saw it, 10 out of 10, right, Ash?
12 out of 10. Best movie. Sweet boy, bad boy.
Excellent. That's what they needed to hear. That's what everybody wanted to hear.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was 10 words.
So, goddamn right. Oh, I found. Oh my god, I just googled it and I found the screenshots of when the girl turns into mud or whatever.
Oh,
Just a straight up gingerbread man, huh?
yeah.
Fucking weird. That literally was what freaked me out when I saw that when I was younger. But
Yeah, did you have like a learning disability?
I don't know. I don't know why it freaked me out so much, but it did. It got me. And I remember
like,
it sticks
that
out every time
shouldn't
I
get
think
you.
about that movie, and every time I have thought about that movie since, it just like stuck out to me. It's very, very bizarre.
I mean, like the weird part to me was like when the dead lady was like, "Yes, like kill your brother," and then he kills his brother, but then he doesn't die even though this short sword's huge. I don't know. And then truly awful. And they keep catapulting themselves at a stone tower.
Oh
and
yeah.
They
All
keep
sorts of
thinking it's gonna
weirdo
work.
shit.
It's like it was like 1200 Scooby Doo.
Yeah,
That it was a Scooby Doo movie.
from the year 1200. You know what? Another one that came out around the same time. Have you ever heard of the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen?
I have heard of the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Yeah, with Sean
seen it?
Connery. I have seen that movie.
Oh, poor you. I have not.
2003 it came out. It seemed like such a cool idea, right? It's like,
Did it? Or was it
It's
just,
like
just...
Van Helsing, but a whole bunch of just like the other guys. right? Like,
I think that movie's called The Other Guys.
there's oh my god, I'm like right. I'm reading it and it says a vampirus, the Invisible Man, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, an American Secret Service agent named Sawyer, Captain Nemo, and Dorian Gray.
What the fuck?
Chewbacca. No, the list isn't over. Chewbacca, Jabba the Hutt, Jesus H. Christ. Who else? Who's ridiculous? Frodo Baggins, and
Michael from The Office.
And Michael Scott. All teamed together to fight a villain. The ultimate team can't be created. It's just like they just took a whole bunch of stuff. It's like 5 different people wanted to write 5 different movies, and they were like, I want to write one about the Invisible Man. I want to write one about somebody who hung out with Dracula. I want to write a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, and they were like, let's just fucking put it all together.
It seems like they like thawed out someone from the 80s who was a film executive who thought that cocaine was how you make movies still.
They thought about, like, they had him frozen in time. Some sleazy, like, movie director, like, hey, yeah, we could just put them all together if you wanted to. He, like, takes his frozen cigar.
Yeah, he's gonna like, I got an 8-ball back in the cryo chamber.
You
Let's
guys
bust
want to
out a
write
movie.
We could make it in 6 hours.
Write a movie is very cool slang for cocaine.
You want to write a movie? Right?
Yeah.
Fucking awesome. It's fucking awesome.
I text your guy, hey, could I come over and grab some movie scripts?
Yeah.
Boom.
Got
Very
you.
cool.
Gotcha, bro.
You're the coolest person with an addiction.
Also, what is this, the 80s? Your drug dealer says. Jesus Christ. So
do math like an adult.
Yeah. So there you go. A League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. I didn't watch it this week. I think I'm gonna dig that movie and watch it.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to.
That's a pretty awesome choice. I must admit.
Yeah. I might.
Have you seen anything in
that.
Have you seen anything in the last 2 days?
I started watching Star Trek Voyager. I'm pretty much finished with Next Gen. I was just like, man, well, what's next? I guess I'll just watch the second best Star Trek series. so that's when I
Roasted.
started. Yeah. So I started Voyager, and it's a lot of like Janeway is a cool captain. That's the captain on the Voyager. But I will say that every episode that I've seen so far kind of starts out the same way. They're like going along, and then like there's a bump that shakes the whole ship around, and then she goes red alert, and then like I don't know, they're like getting sucked into a black hole, and then the episode ends. But I've only seen 4 episodes so far, so I'm gonna give it some time.
Trying to remember. Oh, okay. So this is mid 90s to early 2000s.
Yeah. I will say the only episode of Voyager that I do remember is the one where like the 2 guys get like fused together. Tuvok and Neelix get fused together and they become Tuvix. And Tuvix, the fused dude, is like, I like myself like this. This is great. And then the doctor is like, no, I mean, like, ethically, I'm pretty sure we have to separate them to protect the lives of Tuvok and Neelix. And so they end up murdering Tuvix to resuscitate Tuvok. And did I just spoil that for everybody? I'm really sorry, guys. If you haven't seen Star Trek...
If you haven't seen it yet...
I'm sorry about that. Well, now you know. There you go. I guess it's probably a lot better than I just described it. Maybe.
Cool.
So there you go. Star Trek Voyager in a nutshell. 10 out of 10. Anyway, cool. Man, we're just firing them off today.
Yeah. No, we're
great.
getting through this real quick.
Yeah, hell yeah. So what do we got going on, Ash? You know, we're talking Mulholland Drive, one of the most well-known David Lynch films. I would say, if not the best well-known, aside from like maybe Eraserhead, which I think is pretty iconic of David Lynch, and obviously Twin Peaks, very iconic of David Lynch. Do I hear a budget? Oh my God.
Yeah, let me sing it a song.
Okay. But it's all on tape, right?
What's the song? It's like oh God, what was it? Yeah. Llorando.
This is the budget breakdown.
Excellent.
Perfect. That was great.
That was fantastic. Good work.
Thank you. Shout out to Rebecca Del Rio. She's a homie.
Yeah.
She's got a really cool charity for arts for kids. Her son had like sarcoma and like was dealing with it for 4 years, and she started a charity in his name, and I think it's something about Frank. Look it up. Rebecca Del Rio.
Looking her up.
Charity.
She's gorgeous too. She's a great singer.
Great singer.
I'm pretty certain that actually was her voice in Mulholland Drive.
Oh yeah. She sings in all of David Lynch's things, and I was lucky enough. I got to like have dinner with her and my friend Dave. Yeah, no, she's really awesome, and like I said, she does have a charity for her child. So look up Rebecca Del Rio charity organization, and it should come up. Read the story and donate if you can, because that'll make you feel good.
That's a pretty cool story. I didn't know you got to. You may have told me that before, but that's pretty excellent. Yeah, she is a phenomenal singer.
Very talented. Yeah.
So it was kind of cool to see her make an appearance in this, because I was just like, oh, I recognize her. She's the David Lynch singer, and it's pretty cool that she was in this as well. And her song was like haunting in this one, and drove a really good point home, which I do want to talk about. Oh yeah, just like all a cappella with no like music in the background was it's like spooky. I was seriously impressed. It was very, very good. But so if you want to launch this bad boy budget off for us, why don't we do the thing,
Excuse you?
I don't. You know what I'm trying to say? Just like go with the numbers. Let's do this.
Okay. By the way, it's the Philip DeMars Foundation is the name of that charity. If you want to give money. Anyway, Mulholland Drive came out October 8th, 2001. Which is later than a lot of people would have expected. It
looks like a 90s movie, doesn't it?
It looks like an 80s movie. A
little bit.
Budget 15,000 or 15 million rather.
Oh, okay. I was like, what? This would be like that would like elevate this movie so high if it was 15,000. 15 million is still a pretty small budget,
especially to get Naomi Watts in it, crazy.
Yeah.
Opening weekend, it made $587,000. It was number 14 its opening weekend, and total worldwide, it made $20 million, with a majority of it coming from foreign money, about 64.1%.
Wow.
Or $12.89 million. It got nominated for one Oscar in 2001 for director David Lynch. Yeah.
Interesting.
It's got a lot of interesting things. For limited releases in 2001, it came in at number 9. It was the 57th highest R-rated movie. In the year 2001, it's the number 49 gay and lesbian movie. But we're going to talk about worldwide yearly 2001.
Worldwide
it came in, yeah.
All right. Where'd it come in at?
Well, it said one thing, now it's saying another.
Oh, it's cool. We got it.
Oh, no. Sorry. Yearly R-rated. It came in at 57.
57.
So what other R-rated movies came out in 2001 that were a little bit higher than that?
Holy shit, man. R-rated in 2001.
Yeah, these are weird movies. It's not the most common films that you would think of.
There was a lot of big movies that came out in the early 2000s and late 90s, but a lot of them were PG-13. Yeah.
None of them were in 2001.
Yeah, 2001's a weird year. Man, are you ready for this glorious guess?
Yeah.
Blade 2. Come on, tell me it's on there.
It's super not.
Damn it! What year did Blade 2 come out then?
God, who fucking knows, dude?
I'm gonna find out. Dude, I'm gonna you know what? No, I'm gonna leave it up because one of these days I'm gonna be right and Blade's gonna
2002.
Shit, I was so fucking close. I bet you was up there in 2002 as well.
Yeah, sure.
2001. What the fuck else came out in 2001? R-rated.
Looking through these, one of my favorite movies of all time is on here.
Really?
I don't think I've brought it up before, but it is an amazing movie.
Oh.
Got a couple like kind of procedural R-rated comedies that were famous in the early 2000s.
Is it Wet Hot American Summer?
Wet Hot American Summer, I think, was 2001, but I'm pretty sure that was PG-13.
Yeah, you might be right. American Pie?
Close.
American Pie 2?
Yes.
Really?
American Pie 2 was number 2 overall
No shit.
for R-rated movies at $145 million.
Wow, that's pretty crazy. I don't even think I saw the second one. I don't even know. Shit, man. I saw the first one. I guess, I didn't think that, I guess American Pie probably came out in like 99 then. If the second one came out.
Yeah, it must have.
Yeah, that's weird. I thought it was a little later than that. R-rated. Shit. R-rated 2000. Well, that's such a weird year.
It is a weird year.
Yeah.
We hadn't quite established what the early 2000s were going to be yet. So
it's still like
got
a
real
hangover
variety
from the
here.
90s.
And a lot of these are not memorable.
Yeah.
Honestly, I was just looking at them.
You want to hit me with like a couple hints?
Yeah, let's hit you with some hints. I'm coming from the bottom here, and the one that is one of my favorites. This movie has a non-standard structure. It involves tattoos and murder.
Memento.
Memento.
I thought that was
one of my
another
favorite
99
movies.
movie. I thought that
Nope,
was
2001. Number 32 overall.
Shit, Memento's a good one. That's one that I would love to talk about with you because that the movie's fun.
Yeah. Oh my god, it's one of my favorites. Kevin Smith.
Dogma?
Nope.
Was it Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back?
That is correct.
All right.
Okay. Teenage procedural with a name that has become kind of generic. It's about it's like kind of a parody of high school movies.
Oh my god, is it Scream?
No.
Is it
It's not a horror, it's a comedy.
Oh, it's a comedy.
Pure comedy.
2001.
Its name describes what it is making fun of.
Shit. I really don't know. I'm sorry.
Not another teen movie.
Oh. I've never even heard of that.
You haven't?
Yeah, I don't even know what that is.
It's pretty bad.
Yeah. Maybe that's why I haven't heard of it.
Biopic about the greatest of all time.
Biopic about... Shit, dude. I don't know. I don't know any of these.
Ali.
Oh, is it just called Ali? I don't know. It's a Muhammad Ali movie. I really don't know what it's called.
Chris Pratt's ex-wife.
What?
Is the lead of this movie?
Ex-wife?
Yeah.
Dude,
he's married to Anna Faris.
I guess I didn't know. I guess I don't know. It's Anna Faris. Oh. Is it a Scary Movie?
Close.
Scary Movie 2?
Mm-hmm.
Shit.
Renee Zellweger is sassy in this film about a woman who don't need no man.
Is it Sex in the City?
No.
I don't fucking know.
Bridget Jones' Diary.
Dude, I've never heard of that either. Oh my god.
It's not Vanilla Ice. It's
Ice Cube.
No. It's not Vanilla Ice.
Vanilla Latte.
Vanilla Sky.
Oh, that's actually a cool one. I forgot about that one. Oh my god.
Anthony Hopkins reprises a role. Julianne Moore, Gary Oldman.
Oh my god. That sounds like a good movie and I can't fucking think of it. One more.
I haven't seen this movie, but the movie before it references fava beans.
Fava beans? Dude, just fucking tell me. I don't know what it is.
Hannibal.
Oh my god. I thought that was another 1999 movie. Dude,
what the fuck came out in 2000?
I blew all of this. It's so bad. I've never done this poorly on the budget breakdown.
That is a really poor showing.
Yeah. That was like, I was like 0 for 6. I didn't get a single one of those.
I was going to pick gay lesbian because I thought like maybe you'd get more of them.
Yeah,
you
like
know, like
Brokeback
Moonlight,
Mountain
Capote.
probably came out that year, right?
Yeah, because it's just like it came in at what, like 45th or something in like gay movies.
Yeah.
So like you got Bohemian Rhapsody, The Birdcage, Interview with a Vampire, Rocket Man, Brokeback Mountain, Philadelphia,
Yeah.
Bruno.
Bruno's considered a gay movie? I didn't know that.
Apparently,
Yeah.
Love, Simon, Milk,
Yeah, that's a lot of good ones
Rent,
in there.
Capote,
Rent.
Moonlight,
Like iconic.
Dallas
yeah.
Buyers Club, The Kids Are All Right, Kiss of the Spider Woman,
I've never heard
Boys
that one.
Don't Cry,
There's a whole bunch in there.
Transamerica. Yeah.
So shit, man. That's that probably would have been a little bit more iconic of a list, dude. I fucked that up. I guess I don't know my 2001 movies. I gotta go
We
back.
just gotta do a 2001 binge.
Yeah, I think 2001 binge Odyssey, more like
Yeah.
2001
gonna have-
highest grossing films. I'm gonna pull that up and I'm
It
gonna
would have been
watch.
so funny if you had guessed 2001: A Space Odyssey.
That would have been just too fucking good. Oh wow, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone was the number one that year, just overall. Shrek, Monsters Inc., Rush
Oh.
Hour 2, which
Rush Hour. I miss Rush Hour. I'm sure those movies have not aged well, but
oh, Ocean's 11, was that rated R?
no.
Oh, it was probably PG-13 then.
Yeah, rated R movies didn't really come around until the mid-late 2000s,
Yeah.
I feel like.
Yeah, because they
Like,
used to not make money. It was the thing, and because back in the 90s and 80s, all of the movies that would make money ever were PG-13 movies because they thought it appealed to the broadest audience.
Yeah, and I think it's also because like the millennials were a pretty large generation, so
Yeah, and they were all
we kind
younger.
of had a lot of we had a lot of advertising directed at us specifically,
Especially in
So,
the
like,
90s and 2000s,
yeah, so-
yeah.
PG-13 was even pushing it for some of these years.
Yeah.
But yeah, so fascinating. Now we have to talk about Mulholland Drive
All right. Mulholland
again.
Drive.
Sequel to Drive with the prequel, Baby Driver.
I thought Baby Driver was the prequel. Because
It's actually a prequel sequel. It's a sequel that takes place in the past but flashes forward to the future.
gotcha.
Yeah,
Just like
you
Mulholland
remember
Drive,
those
actually.
scenes.
Which was kind of like
All
a
the-
weirdo loop. I don't even know. I don't think I understood Mulholland Drive. I'm going to just like come outright and say it. I think this movie went over my head. And so because of that, I'm kind of just like not really cool with it. I don't think I really liked it too much because of that. I felt bored the whole time. I wasn't invested. And I even like got rid of like distractions. Like I put my phone in the other room until I just straight up couldn't help myself and I had to text you.
I put my phone in the oven. We should have watched David Lynch Cook's Quinoa. It's a 7-minute video.
Oh, we could totally rate that. We'll run out of things to talk, but we could get overly detailed. I think we're capable of that level of dumb.
I think the quinoa shape was generally consistent.
What do you think the quinoa really represents? The struggle between
Was it a
good and evil.
tricolor or a monocolor quinoa? Was it white, red, or black?
God. But so, before we really get into our in-depth pros cons review, which they've become a little muddled lately, but we're generally pretty good about separating it. Ash, I really want to hear your expectations as to what Mulholland Drive was going to deliver to you personally.
Well, it wasn't a pizza in 30 minutes or less. Let me tell you that,
it was a
Avery.
Pizza in 2 hours and 26 minutes.
Yes, a very disappointing pizza was my rap name. My former career. I watched Mulholland Drive, I think 7 years BP. That's before podcast. So it's been a while since I saw Mulholland Drive. I remember liking it, but like in like a way where it's like, this is a movie that my father forces me to watch with him. And then I turned out I kind of liked it by the end.
I see.
But also like, I think I was smarter back then.
Oh
I think
my
I
God.
got dumber. I was so bright-eyed and smart. Now I'm just an idiot.
It's like the plot
but yeah,
from
so-
Mulholland Drive.
Yeah, that is exactly the plot of Mulholland Drive. But with dumb turns. Anyway, yeah, so my expectations were, I wonder how this movie's aged. I'm always a little weird about seeing movies again. I like seeing new movies, but this was Yeah, I was fine with it. I was ready for something a little different after our double feature
Yeah.
It movie,
Yeah,
so I could
me
stop thinking about It Chapter 2 and the way it disappointed me.
Yeah, we've been thinking about It Chapter 2. We've been thinking about Stephen King, It, and It Chapter 2 basically since the beginning of September, end of August.
Since the beginning of time when
Yeah.
I first arrived on this planet.
It's like almost like a whole fucking month of just It. Yeah, I'm so glad we're past that, but yeah.
Next month, we're going to watch Doctor Sleep.
Jesus Christ, dude. I know we have to as well, too, which sucks. So it's just going to all bring it back up. But it's okay. It's okay. It's going to be a good episode. You guys know we're going to deliver for you.
Yeah.
But shit.
Hot pizza, 30 minutes or less.
God damn right. How long do you think Dr. Sleep is going to be?
Well, doctors say that a healthy amount of sleep is between 7 and 9 hours, so 8 hours.
All right. If it's 8 hours, all right. Officially on the record, that's Asher's bet. 8 hours, he says, Dr. Sleep's going to be. I'm going to say 2 hours and 13 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wonder if they have a timeout for it yet.
I'm sure they don't. They're probably still editing it. I guarantee you it's in post-production.
Yeah, they haven't released that yet. It's coming November 8th, though. That's pretty soon. I will say, speaking of weird bets, I I messaged our mutual friend Kelly the other day, like in one of my, you know how I just will like manically text people ridiculous things.
Of course.
Yeah. So I text him, "Hey man, I have a business proposition. Do you want to hear it?" And he's like, "Yeah man, sure." I'm like, it's Scotch tape, but it tastes like Scotch. I'm looking for a $10,000 investment."
You
he's
in?
like, he's like, "Yeah, I always want to put tape near my mouth." And then I just requested him 10 separate $1,000 requests on Messenger.
Oh my god.
It's like, dude, I keep getting notifications for these. I'm like, yeah, if you gave it to me, it probably would go away.
Probably would go away, huh?
So I can make my dreams come true. Scotch tape, or Scotch flavored Scotch tape.
Oh my god. Wow.
It doesn't work to tape anything, by the way. It's too wet.
Delicious. Excellent. I am so ready for your Scotch flavored Scotch tape. God, that's a mouthful. But
That's the name of the product too. It's like really long.
yeah, right. It's like it takes up like the whole packaging. You need more packaging just to list that it's Scotch flavored, and you need to be 21 to buy it because it actually gets you drunk.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I
of
mean,
course.
I think technically, like the glue they use on Scotch tape could do that in enough volume.
What? No, that's a fucking lie.
Yeah. You ever drink glue?
You ever drink glue, kid? You ever eaten glue, boy?
You add that voice in a trench coat to anyone. You ever tried an enchilada, boy?
You ever gone fishing? Oh.
You ever clipped your toenails, young man?
Ever eaten toenails, boy? You want to see a
You
foot
ever
with 9 toes? So good.
You ever carved a wooden box that meant a lot to you, kid?
I did.
He's fully open trench coat, nothing underneath,
He's
just
wearing, like,
saying
clothes.
these. You ever tried Vapo Rub, kid?
God. You ever listen to my podcast?
You ever just sit up at night looking at the stars, wondering if we're alone in this universe? Kid.
Kid. So Mulholland Drive. On that note,
You ever get in a car accident and lose your memory, kid?
right? Kind of how this happened. But Mulholland Drive. This was the movie that I always confused with Lost Highway. So I wasn't sure which one we were gonna watch because the covers look so similar, and the opening scene for Mulholland Drive just like is the cover for Lost Highway. It's like the same thing. It's like a car, and there's like the things in the middle of the road. It's a good movie. Okay, I get it. I'm sure. But my expectations were really high, especially after Blue Velvet, which I thoroughly enjoyed. Like I very, very much enjoyed Blue Velvet.
Weird but engaging. Like, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I felt like Blue Velvet was definitely a little more engaging than this. I could not. I don't know if it's just like I had a weird day. I don't know if it's something like that. Something just couldn't get me clicked in, and I could feel it from the moment I started the movie. I was just like, I don't want to watch this. It's just like, just right out the gate. So I tried, man. I tried because I was just like, dude, if I sit here with my phone, with my computer, I'm gonna get distracted, and I'm not gonna see the movie. Like, I'm just gonna like tune it out. And so I moved all of that stuff aside, and I fucking tried, and I still just could not get engaged, you know? And it just seemed like the story was just meandering so hard throughout the first like hour and a half, which it's more than half the movie. It seemed like it was going nowhere. It started to pick up at the end, and I started to get a little more invested, but my expectations were much higher than that. I thought it was going to be like, totally, it was going to pick me up, and I was going to be like, yeah, this is great.
I don't know why you expected a pick-me-up, but...
I didn't... Yeah, this movie was so pessimistic. Blue Velvet was a really pessimistic movie as well, but it had this, like, cheery, optimistic ending. This movie was just, like, a sad, slow descent into, like, the ultimate depths of despair. It was just so sad. Very bleak. I ended the movie feeling bad. Like, I felt, like, not good. It was weird. so I guess I learned something. I don't even know. But so.
Well, I mean, we'll get into it, but a lot of the Hollywoody stuff in Mulholland Drive is like not really in vogue or like not super common knowledge. Just about like the inner workings of Hollywood, and I think it kind of plays to this movie maybe not aging as well as it could.
Maybe.
Because it's like, yeah, Hollywood's skeevy, and everyone's like, we know. It's not interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Boo.
I guess this is also like a lot before the whole Me Too thing happened. So it's just like, and I don't want to make like, I don't think it's that stark of a metaphor.
But there are some moments.
Yeah, but yeah, exactly.
Definitely some moments.
There's some moments like when she's kissing the older actor. It's just like,
that was
hard to watch.
Awful.
That was so hard to watch. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
And I think that was like it was intended to come across that way.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah,
but it was
skeevy.
I mean, it was effective, but like in a way where it's like, yeah, but I don't want to watch this.
Yeah.
It's like the same thing with like the rape stuff in Blue Velvet. It's like, yeah, this is effective, but no, I don't want to watch it.
Yeah.
I just don't. It's not fun for me.
No,
it's not a good time for Ash.
Nothing fun about this movie.
You ever not had fun at a movie, kid?
You ever seen Mulholland Drive, kid? It's David Lynch in a trench coat.
You ever had metaphors, kid?
You ever heard of metaphors? Fucking great.
You ever have similar tones in all of your stuff, kid?
I don't know, man. It's hard to compare this to Blue Velvet. I guess comparing Jeffrey to Betty. What was the name?
Yeah, Betty.
Betty
/ Diane.
Yeah,
same person, different person.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Comparing them is like a pretty 1-to-1 comparison, just on like a much bigger scale. I think in Mulholland Drive, and on top of that, I think this movie Mulholland Drive just ended in the most bleak way. It's just so. It's just like he couldn't have done anything more bleak than that. This is like Blue Velvet, like ended with like literal birds chirping, and the whole world is, bright-eyed.
It's gonna be okay.
It's all gonna be okay. And then clearly something happened to David Lynch in the intervening 15 years, because 15 years later he makes this movie and it is dark. So I don't know. What. Yeah. I guess he was jaded by the whole Hollywood. I have no fucking idea what changed in that guy's head, but pretty fucking dark. Interesting stuff. Well, why don't we start off? Let's start off talking about some pros, because I got a lot of cons, and they're mostly just personal things.
Yeah,
let's launch off some pros.
One of the really big pros, I would say, is a scene that we both talked about prior to, starting up the podcast, which was the assassination hitman scene
Yeah.
with you in it. I don't know if any of you guys know this, but our co-host Avery, at the ripe old age of however the fuck old you were,
26.
No, not now.
Back in 2001? Or probably 2000. Yeah, I would have been 8. Just so you know, that's actually me in Mulholland Drive with the leather jacket.
Yeah, but literally, that was the most you character I think I've ever seen. Just like an assassin who is truly bad at being an assassin. It was a super funny scene.
It's a good scene.
And like nothing could go right. And it's kind of what I want out of David Lynch, because I think that he does kind of the macabre humor really well.
Right. That was great. That was one of the scenes where I was just like, because it was more towards the beginning of the movie. It was in like the first 15 or 20 minutes, I think. And I was just like, man, if it's like this, if it's kind of funny like this throughout the whole film, I could totally get behind this. Unfortunately, that kind of drops off pretty quick, shortly thereafter.
Very quick.
Yeah. And but dude, it's just like the classic thing where he goes I don't even know what the character's name is, but the leather jacket guy, he goes to kill one person, kills this guy, and then the cleaning lady walks in and sees everything as he's like setting it up to look like a suicide. So he has to kill her, right?
I think the gun went off and it went through the wall and he shot her.
Oh yeah, oh my god. And she's like hurt. And she tries to run away, and he grabs her by the mouth, trying to make her quiet. And then one of the janitor guys is out there vacuuming the hallway, and he's just like, "Help, man! This lady's really hurt. Help! You gotta come in here." And he's like, and he doesn't even say anything. Like you could tell this is just like a simple dude just trying to do his job. And so he comes in, he pulls the lady he shot into the office, shoots her again. And then the guy with the vacuum comes in, and then he shoots the guy with the vacuum, and then the vacuum starts making noise, so he shoots the vacuum.
and then like the fucking like the breaker like explodes. Like it's an amazing sequence of events.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, just I think one of the real highlights, because it's just very much what he does well.
Oh yeah.
I think
just like and like a really like funny escalating way. How it's just like the absurdity like really ramps up. It's just like he can't even stop. He has to kill everyone because somebody knows that he killed someone until there's no one left, and he can't kill the building once the alarm goes off. It's just so good, fucking great, like, so much fun. Yeah, definitely a huge pro. Man, you know, I know we talked about this being one of the skeevier scenes, but one of the more convincing scenes from Naomi Watts specifically was the skeevy makeout scene with the old guy.
I mean, it was super effective.
Oh yeah,
amazing.
From
really great acting.
Absolutely, from a pure storytelling and acting standpoint, the way it's shot, it's all like quiet. It's just so dead quiet, and you see all of these like producers watching this like. So disgusting and like very, very, very effective. Yeah, that was another one of those scenes where I was just like, this is almost too much.
Avery, why are you touching your nipples when you say that?
How about when the director guy catches his wife cheating and pours pink paint all over her jewelry?
This whole movie's fucking dumb.
Yeah, it's just so weird. And like so he tries to like he freaks out at his wife after he catches her cheating, and then the boyfriend comes in. He's at first the boyfriend is just like, you know, he's probably kind of upset. And like just like kind of like a nice thing to say in that position. And then he goes out there and he's just like, "I don't care how upset you are, man," or something like that. "You don't talk to her like that." Like, just like kind of defending her in like the sweetest way. And then they kick him out of his own house. And then later, somebody, I don't even know who the fucking character was, but the big dude comes to the house looking for the director guy.
Oh yeah, the fucking he looks like Andre the Giant, like
enormous. And that lady was so little, she like jumped on his neck, and like he couldn't even. He was just like shaking her off. And he just beats.
And then when he
punched
behind his head, it was just like so perfect.
Oh yeah, that was a fun scene.
That was fun.
I did like how the sound effects were so overplayed, like just like the corniest stock punching sound effects. Yeah, it was literally like a whoosh. It was so silly. Yeah, that was definitely pretty fun.
Yeah, I had a good time with some of the stuff there.
Yeah. What do you got? You got another one for us?
Not really. You know, it was really cool for me, like, being from LA, seeing some of these places that I've driven by. There was even, like, a parking lot downtown that I've definitely parked in.
Oh.
I think for, like, a job interview downtown one time, back when I worked downtown. It was just kind of crazy seeing that kind of stuff. Also, just kind of seeing older LA because it is really different now.
Really?
Yeah.
Even just since
And,
2001, huh? That's crazy.
oh yeah, these these neighborhoods are now like grotesque, like I don't know, just like even just how the apartment complexes were laid out, it felt so 80s because they like had all these people that were in. Yeah, that also might be part of the problem is that he's like the antithesis of Wes Anderson, where it's like even though he doesn't show what age it's in, like it's always the 80s. Like
Yeah.
all of his work always looks like the 80s.
Yeah.
Okay. Because of how it's filmed and how like the ADR is done.
Yeah, the ADR was pretty weak in this movie. And I was one of those things where I caught it and it just sounded so strange to me. I was just like, that was done in post. And I couldn't figure out, like, is it intentionally supposed to sound bad? Because that's what I thought initially. And then I was just like, nah, that's just an ADR line that he couldn't get right, I think. And very weird. I know what you mean. When you say, like, it takes place in the 80s, it's just like, it is like the film he uses. This film is not color corrected, but just a tool that was available to directors at this point.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This movie looks like, think of how American Pie 2 looks.
Yeah.
And think about Mulholland Drive.
Yeah. American
like,
Pie
it
2
looks very
saturated
dated
and colorful. It looks a
you
little
can
more
see
dated now.
all
but-
the hairs and Eugene Levy's eyebrows.
Yeah.
You can see just, the bright reds of a stain from an apple pie that you recently fucked.
And you could like compare that to this movie. This movie looks like it was filmed just maybe a couple years after Blue Velvet. It was probably filmed on the same camera. If I I could venture to guess that it was. Definitely.
David Lynch has been keeping it in his garage. He's like, oh, time to dust off this puppy.
Yeah.
Like,
we're making another unnerving film. Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about the overarching message of Mulholland Drive, because I want you to guide me through it a little bit, because I have a tenuous grasp as to what I received as far as the message goes from this movie. You helped me along a little bit with Blue Velvet, and I'm hoping you can do that again for me this time.
I didn't get this movie as well as I got Blue Velvet. At least I don't have as developed of ideas, but it was definitely a juxtaposition of like the dreamlike state of Betty, who had like this whole thing where she is, making it. She comes to LA and she just, right away I got an interview, I got an audition.
Yeah.
But no, like, and even the people who saw me in the audition were like, we actually have other projects we like you in. Oh, I'm doing so great. Oh, and I met a nice girl with amnesia, who has no character development whatsoever. That's perfect for me. And we're going to have lesbian sex, and it's going to feel unearned. Then there's, like, the real stuff, like Diane, where it's like she's alive. So, like, they go to the apartment, and they see the lady laying down. They're like, oh, she's been fucking murdered. And then everything goes all wonky, and, like, they do a really bad blur effect from It Chapter 2 when he does the ayahuasca. And that's, like, her, like, it's like seeing yourself in your dream.
Yeah.
You know how you can't, like, see yourself in your dream, like, if you look in a mirror or something, or at least that's what they say, and they were playing with that. And then, like, the shake she gets during the song portion is when she, like, realizes she's sleeping.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't put that together. I kind of like that. Yeah.
And so, like, she's really, like, this, like washed up. She's, like, okay, so, like, the diner scene, right?
Yeah.
Where she looks at, like, Rita looks at the person's name. Their name is Diane. Diane is the lady in the apartment who is actually Betty. So she's really, in real life, like, her girlfriend hates her. She's a waitress, and no one will fucking hire her.
Gotcha.
And then Camilla's also Yeah. So these characters are like crossing paths with one another when one is like the real and one is the fake, and like like the real Betty is like trying to get or the real Rita is trying to get.
I know. See,
the real
you're confused.
Betty is trying to get. She like hires the hitmen, and it's dumb. It's like it's pretty dumb.
I don't know.
I mean, like, I get it. It's smart, but it's also like, dude, I shouldn't have to fucking work to enjoy my movie. Like,
yeah. And I think that's one of the reasons why, if we can escalate this to the cons segment,
let's do it.
Yeah.
I mean, I just have, I mean, listen, it is the big issue I have with David Lynch. I think he's a really brilliant guy, but he's a really brilliant guy in like a classroom discussion kind of way. Like, I'm in an English class and we watched a movie for an English class. We're going to talk about it for 3 1-hour classes in a week. Is that something that I seek out for enjoyment? Sometimes. I definitely like that sometimes. But I just don't like his approach. I think his approach really hasn't matured a lot.
hell yeah.
Since like Twin Peaks, and it's old. Like, I'm kind of done with it. I like it. It's like, it's not that I don't like it. It's just I'm fucking tired of it. I just don't want to keep doing this with a movie. You can have metaphors without having to fucking deal with like all this nonsense. I think that like 2001: A Space Odyssey is a really good example where they don't fucking feed you what the themes and ideas are, but it's not a fucking chore to figure out what they are. Just as like, you know, you can have your own interpretations and there's no right answer, and that's kind of what makes it fun. With David Lynch, there's kind of a right answer, and I kind of don't respect that.
Yeah, and it's all kind of convoluted. I see exactly what you mean. Like the how can I phrase this? So I was almost annoyed by how so many of these characters went by 2 names and they all looked the same, and I was just like, this. I think that's why it lost me, to be honest. I think because I was just like, I don't even know who these characters are anymore. You know, is that her ex-girlfriend or is that Camilla? Are they the same person?
They're the same person.
Yeah, so that's what it was. It's that having one actor go by 2 names in a movie, I feel like is a serious flaw. Like, if it like came back to the real world and they looked like somewhat similar, but like in the dream world it was just like an idealized version of her girlfriend or something along those lines.
Or they keep even running into these characters and they never show their face till towards the end.
Yeah.
Like, that's...
Exactly. Something like that. Like, there's creative ways to get around that, but like having a character in your movie that goes by 2 names is kind of exactly like what you said. It feels like too much goddamn work. It's just like, it feels like a chore to parse through all of this, and it's just like, I do like complex movies from time to time. I don't think Blue Velvet was an inherently like crazily complex movie, but it had complex themes. And
sorry about the
You know.
you're 100% right. A movie shouldn't be convoluted to be convoluted and seem deep. It kind of makes this movie feel like he was really grasping at straws. You can be deep while giving your audience the actual story and not making them hunt for the story within the story.
Yeah, and it just seemed like too much. I got the very clear like cycles of people being like washed up by Hollywood. I like that's kind of like the big picture that I got from this and that he was trying to say. But we already kind of discussed it earlier. It's saying like, well, the whole Me Too thing kind of happened, and now it's just like this is all exposed now. It's not as compelling.
Anymore.
Yeah, it's not as compelling as it probably was in 2001.
I mean, like, Hollywood was still kind of, you know, politics were more interesting when there weren't primary elections, and they just kind of like, these are the candidates, we decided them behind this door, enjoy. Like,
yeah.
But politics, you know, became more involved, and so that whole behind the door thing is like not as interesting.
Yeah. So, man, I don't know. I can't really like fault this movie in so many ways technically. I do feel like there was some
I think technically fine.
Yeah, I think David Lynch tends to use what I would consider, especially nowadays, somewhat dated like fades and like, he does this like zoom in thing that looks like it's straight out of the 1950s and 60s. And I noticed it a couple times in this. It's really hard for me to describe. But it'll be like a fixed shot where like the actress isn't moving and she's on like the right side of the screen. And then it'll like slowly handheld cam zoom into like what you're supposed to focus on. I think that's something that I looked for in older movies. But you mentioned his film's not really maturing. It just seems like, I don't know. I didn't like that personally, but that's, I'm sure somebody really likes that. That's hard for me to nitpick. That's such a stylistic,
Yeah, and like that's the thing is people love the style of David Lynch, but just like as someone who's not like in that Lynchiverse kind of like huge mega fan of his, it does just come across as like, really, this movie could have come out 2 years after Blue Velvet and I wouldn't have been surprised. In fact, it came out like nearly 20 years after Blue Velvet.
Yeah.
It's like, it's almost just kind of inexcusable.
It's like, yeah, it does seem like he was trying to almost replicate something that was Blue Velvet. The characters were all very parallel.
Totally.
Yeah, Blue Velvet was a better movie, I think. And I think it's just because he didn't like create this like weird alternate reality thing that this movie has going. I don't know. It's better. It's more straightforward in a lot of ways, delivering very similar themes. Like this loss of innocence, I think is a big part of this movie.
Huge theme.
And stuff like that I think just worked a lot better in Blue Velvet. How about here's a con for you. I am all about, I'm very progressive. People, you can have sex with whoever you want to have sex with. Don't even bug me about it. But
don't at me.
Don't even
fuck
at
whoever
me.
you want. Avery's told you.
And,
hey kids, you ever had sex with whoever you want?
God. When you frame it like that, dude. Did the lesbian sex scenes kind of come across as a little exploitative?
Oh, 100. There were okay. Yeah. I talked about this in Blue Velvet. David Lynch can't write a female character. Did he write this movie? Yeah, he can't write a female character. So yeah. I respect his choice to make 2 female characters as your leads. I mean, that was cool. Daring for him because his women have the depth of dead people. Super unearned.
Yeah.
Just very.
Just kind of like, just out of nowhere. Like now it's happening.
So these people are in love or lust, but there was no indication until like pretty much 5 minutes before the sex scene started.
Yeah. It's just like,
they just seemed like friends, but now they're not. And I guess that's kind of how it happens sometimes. Sometimes you just hook up with a friend and then you're seeing them. Avery. Roasted. Freaking owned, dude.
Yeah, you got it. So,
but
yeah,
it was pretty unearned. And it was very like there's a titty. Look at the titty.
Yeah, it was just like, there you go, you got boobs. It's almost like, it makes me wonder if there was some producer that was just like, man, people aren't going to be into this. They're not going to believe
hey, kids,
it unless...
you ever seen a tit?
Yeah, you ever seen a titty, kids? God, that's horrible. That's the worst one yet. I can't believe I said that.
They're gonna get worse.
I can't believe I said that. That's on the air. Yeah, man, it felt exploitative. I don't know. Kissing noises were so fucking disgusting. I hate kissing noises.
Like, they're better with current ADR.
Yeah, dude, it's something about the compression of whatever microphones were used, specifically around this time, like the late 90s and 2000s. It's pretty bad in the 80s too, now that I'm thinking about it. But like, oh, dude, it's something like you see it on TV shows a lot. And I've talked about this before, but like where all of like, it's a speech volume leveler. So the background noise will be going and then you'll hear a kiss noise and all of that background noise will drop down really low. So the kiss is like really loud. And it just sounds like the fucking worst. Like I could probably replicate it on the podcast. Maybe we'll have an experiment. We'll see if we can make some weird noises that illustrate that point that I'm trying to make. Because yeah, wait here. I'll see if I can just do it right there. Yeah, I could probably get it to work on that, and you'll see what I mean. It's just like the background noise all ramps up, and then you hear it all drop down when the kissing noise. It's just like it punctuates it. It's disgusting. Mouth sounds are gross. Just can't take it. So, and there were so many in this movie. I was like, ugh.
Avery makes love with earplugs.
What? Ew. Oh, right. That was me in all
Not
of your ears, guys.
Yeah. Anything else that I'd really like to say that was negative about this? The movie is really long.
Yeah.
The movie was really long.
2.5 hours. A little too much.
Yeah, I mean, compare it to a lot of other movies that we've seen about that same runtime. Like, It Chapter 1 didn't feel this long.
No, this is about the same length as It Chapter 1. It Chapter 1 was... It's really hard to compare the two movies in any way.
Oh, they're very different.
Yeah.
But just in terms of engagement and, like, feeling, like how time dilated,
Yeah.
I would say that I just wasn't as gripped by this.
Yeah. It just didn't take me away. And you know what? I know there are a lot of people who fucking love this movie, and I know that people are going to be upset that we're trashing it, but the truth is, it just didn't take me away. It's not my kind of movie. If it's your kind of movie, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
You know?
Totally. I mean,
a
like,
lot of crap
I think
is there. It's there.
100% agree. I don't think it's like a bad movie. It's just not a me movie.
Yeah.
And I do think that I think most people who are big fans of David Lynch will agree that this was not necessarily his like best movie.
Maybe just his best known.
Yeah, and it's definitely just the movie that like fucking pseudo intellectuals like to jerk off about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I don't know, man.
We got to get into more Kubrick, man.
Yeah, we should do some more Kubrick. We should watch
Yeah, have you seen
2001: A
Clockwork
Space
Orange?
Odyssey. I've never seen it. I've only seen The Shining.
Okay, and you haven't seen 2001?
I've never seen 2001.
Doctor Strangelove? Full Metal Jacket?
Oh, I've seen Full Metal Jacket. Actually, never mind.
Full Metal
I've definitely
Jacket's
seen that
in.
one. Yeah.
We might do 2001 or Clockwork Orange. They're both pretty good.
Yeah.
Clockwork Orange is a lot more rape.
Yeah, I don't want to watch that. I don't like that.
Yeah.
That's
No one likes
Yeah.
it. No, it's not good.
yeah. So.
And everyone speaks in like a fake made up slang.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Weird. Let's watch 2001.
And they all,
Sounds good.
yeah. Totally. Dude, you'll love the audio production on that movie.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so fun.
Awesome. All right. Hell yeah. I'm looking forward to it. But Ash, do you have any more negatives, or can we move into our final segment of the episode where we talk about 5 words, 5 out of 5, and actually we do out of 10, don't we? You know what I'm getting at with this. So the final segment of the show, all you guys out there, you want to start?
Yeah. God. Mulholland Drive is in LA.
Wow.
Much like this film, I'm very deep. I don't know. This movie kind of just sat wrong with me. David Lynch cannot write women. They're really not interesting. Hollywood's just not an interesting topic anymore. I'm sure it was when this movie came out, and probably why I liked it more when I first saw
Maybe.
it. But this time around, even though I think I got it more, I've got a lot less enjoyment out of it. Movies should be fun, and there's always fun in like discussing and picking apart movies that are more complex. But this was just complex for complexity's sake more than it actually serving the movie. That being said, great scenes in this movie. It's still, how David Lynch films and makes movies is still really cool. I just wish that he would kind of mature. Just because he has a unique tone doesn't mean that it can't be expanded upon. Having a cult following doesn't mean you don't need to change and improve yourself. I can't imagine that someone wants to keep making the same kind of movies forever.
No.
Just like any kind of art. Like, you want to change things up. We add the budget breakdown. We stop talking about pornography. And we've only been doing this for almost 3 years. So
Oh my God, that's crazy.
yeah, I mean, like, we switch things up, we add, we try new angles, our styles of comedy have changed, we've upgraded our production value.
At least a little bit, right? We sound.
At least a little
Go back
bit.
and listen to those old episodes. We sound like hot garbage for a while.
Yeah.
So
Till, like, the beginning of 2019.
Yeah, we really upped our stuff. We did, but like we matured. We put it all together.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and like maybe he already found his tone, and so, but I think that's always a mistake. I think it's a mistake to get complacent. So.
And now the cops.
The David Lynch police are
coming.
coming.
Yeah, right. The David Lynch fans called the cops.
Yeah, but I still think this is a decent movie. I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10. That's what I gave Blue Velvet. I like Blue Velvet more. That being said, so I'm gonna retroactively change that one to a 7.
Okay. So. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. Hell yeah. Well, shit, man.
You only have 4 words this week, by the way.
Oh, fuck. Shit, you're right.
Yeah, sure.
That just
Don't
totally
let me
hamstrung my whole. You know what? I can make it work. So, my 4 words this week are "How about the cowboy?" Because there was a cowboy in this movie that just was in it. I don't know why. Apparently, if you saw him more than once, it was a bad thing. I don't know if that character was supposed to be real or like a ghost.
I can explain this to you.
Yeah, I would love to know. Did he like represent like Shadow Hollywood or something?
So he was a metaphor for apartheid.
Fuck you, man. God, fuck, damn it. I walked right into that. God damn it. Well, okay, shit. Yeah. How about
you idiot?
Apartheid?
It was apartheid.
Yeah. So this movie totally kind of went over my head. I think I got the main gist of it. Some of the finer nuances escaped me at least a little bit. Shit, man, I found myself just wanting the movie to be over. At so many points, I was like, I just want to be done with this so I can. I just wanted it to be over. I don't know if I'm just in a bad mood or if this movie really just isn't my kind of movie. I'm kind of going with it's just not my kind of movie. I know people are going to hate me about this. I'm going to give this movie a 4 out of 10, and it's completely subjective. I understand that there's a lot of craft behind this, but for me, just didn't get that much enjoyment out of it. I would say watch Blue Velvet instead. You're going to get a really similar kind of story, very, very similar themes, but it's a little more compact. It's a little more well-paced. It's not nearly as long. It's just, a little more compact. It's good. Blue Velvet is a better version of Mulholland Drive, I think. And that's me seeing, I'm only having seen, like, I don't know, like...
Those two.
Yeah, pretty much those two. Like, basically 4 Lynch movies in total, including, like, Twin Peaks, the show. And so it's like, yeah. I see why people like this. I see the style behind it. I don't know if it's always mine. I think I still need to watch some more Lynch in order to develop that taste for it or to realize fully that it's not for me. But I think that will come in the future because I don't think this is the last one we're going to watch. But yeah, shit.
Goody. Yeah.
So, hell yeah. If that's it, oh my God. We did it, Ash. We made it all the way through.
Oh my God. 20 episodes in 1 week. The new world record.
I know. I can't believe... We've like had to do so much this week. It's been like because to get that It Chapter 2 episode out, you guys probably heard we had to split the recording dates up because of the technical difficulties that we were facing. Yeah. It was quite frustrating, and but we managed to pull it all together, and I think it ended up sounding pretty good. So I think we pulled it all together. But thank you guys so much for being patient with us, and thanks for listening along. And we are excited to talk about whatever. What are we talking about next week, Ash?
Last Blood.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Last Blood. So,
and we'll also be announcing our picks for
October.
October.
So we have to talk about what we're doing for October because I would love to do all horror all month.
All right. There might be one movie that's not horror.
Then we're doing 8 podcasts next month. 7 horror movies, 1 horror comedy.
I mean, I'd still define it as kind of horrific in a lot of ways.
Christ. All right, great. Yeah, so we're gonna do that. October coming up.
All right.
It's gonna be good. It's been October for me since the beginning of September. It never ends.
It's been October for me since November
Of last year.
Suck it, dude. Yeah. Sorry, I just one-upped you. Pretty cool,
Watch
though.
out for this one up.
I don't mean to one-up you, but
Watch out.
I haven't even shown you my special moves.
Had to use
I've learned a
10%
thing or
of my
two.
Power.
You made me use 10% of my power. All right, let's get the fuck
what are we
out of
doing?
here.
This is stupid. All right, guys. Thank you so much. We all love you. Blah.
Oh, is that you saying goodbye? Okay, I guess I'll do it. Hey kids, you ever done something in post-production?